to interrupt again. Uh, you cover so much ground that a lot of questions come by then.
No, for me, it seems like I'm actually also could be rambling in the sense going all over the place.
No, which is fine because you're covering a lot of good ground, and it's my misfortune that I can't actually pause you at every line and say I have a question here. But my question is, um, I love you're covering a lot of values that I want to bring up right now. In the present answer, also you brought up the question of being patient, not only because it helps you um, wait for your time, it also means that what you do with your time while you're waiting also is investment for the future that might help that time. Then the
True.
arts that you learn or the time that you spend on something which may seem frivolous, but a happy heart. Now I'm trying to go down a track because I have a certain question which you have not mentioned. I want to bring that up. Uh, a happy heart, when it is learning or accepting, tends to be a good seed for the future because it will always lead to some good karma later or good benefits or fruits later, which is what came to me out of what you were sharing. But one question that I wanted to ask you was, in our last chat, the guest kept saying that he wanted me to ponder a bit about vulnerability in relationships. But I was just listening to it and I had my own ideas at that point of time. But one question has popped up which I want to interject here. Uh,
Okay.
Love by itself is a very vulnerable emotion. It's not related to what you've been talking about, but I think it came from the fact that you kept saying spending time on something and doing what you like. And so the word love came to me because we force it down romantic love or paternal love or maternal love or uh, kith and kin, those kind of things, or friendship. But love by itself is quite a fragile emotion, no matter what it is for. So you could love your um, own art, you could love a person, you could love your kid, you could love a stranger, you could love social service, anything at all. Something that drives you to find um, quote unquote meaning into your life.
Yes.
So, how do you perceive love as a vulnerability, and in your personal uh, life, what is it, if you are willing to share, of course, what is it that makes you feel most vulnerable when you are dedicating yourself to this fragility knowingly?
I would say, yeah, love as acceptance of what is, in the sense, right now, if there is a situation, I have to uh, accept it as it is. It can change, it may not change. Like as if, I mean, some things have to be accepted as they are. Some things can be changed, and those that can be changed, I have to put the efforts and change it. In that sense, I mean, love as a emotion. I mean, if you look at from the point of uh, the glands that secrete certain hormones in one's body, if it is love between man and a woman, uh, I think oxytocin, serotonin, and one more, dopamine. These all are at the full and uh, one level and things like that. This is something I saw in a meme and things like that.
Right.
So it's a state of confusion, and also something you look forward to always. So in that sense, it's a kind of that kind of love is actually
A drug.
what happens to a mad. But so as you said, it makes you vulnerable if you are really love a person or art or anything like that, for that matter. connection between two things, between people. Uh, I think being vulnerable, one actually gains a lot more than being control freak or being invested with the end of something as a goal. I mean, one needs to have goals, but if I control everything of the outcome, then it actually is not life. Life as such is highly uncertain and unpredictable. If I could predict what will happen, then I don't need the. If you look at any of the stories from the uh, fr- uh, from time immemorial, all stories have suspense. They have unpredictability. They have climax, which means that there is drama, there is life only when there is uncertainty. And if you are vulnerable, and with that vulnerability, you move slowly forward, then you learn and you succeed much better than being a control freak and saying that I'm very strong, I will make everything that I want the way I want it, and things like that.
Wait,
So
wait.
I guess,
This is a question that I wanted to ask you because this is very interesting. Because you also said from time immemorial. So, over a period of time, if one were to look at history of humankind, there's been a lot of torture, there's been a lot of wars, fights over various issues, mostly land. The other day, I read a very nice thing that data is the new land, and that's what the fight is about. Who has the most data now? Uh,
yeah, data
but
is a new oil.
so my question is, on one side there is vulnerability. As a person, suppose I'm listening to this talk, I'm thinking these are two oldies who cannot succeed, and that's why uh, they are waxing on the opportunities that patience and love and fragility and vulnerability and uncertainty bring. Actually, these guys are good for nothing. So my question is a genuine question. Because over
Yeah,
the world there is a lot of fight over this. Everyone.
yeah,
We had President Trump refusing to go for a while. These are new things. I'm not even saying whether he was right or wrong. That's a separate point altogether. The politics of it is its own
huh,
discussion. But I'm saying here is a guy who's the most powerful man in the world.
yeah,
But he's actually powerless to control his own emotions is was something that kept coming to me at that point of time. And I didn't look at it
yeah,
from either a philosophical point of view or a political point of view. It was just human. To me, it hurt that if a person who's got everything in the world is also so vulnerable and is refusing to accept it. Like people are like
yeah.
me have no choice. So my question to you is, if as a youngster, if I am like 20, 25, I'm listening to this talk, I want to go out and succeed. I don't want to
Huh.
be patient and be vulnerable or accept your uncertainty. What would you say to something like that? To a youngster?
All the, yeah, yeah, I get it. I mean, all the if you see self-help books or all that content that even we write sometimes, all that the society wants from its younger generation is succeed, be smart, clever, succeed as fast as you can, and things like that. So these are all perspectives. They are neither wrong, they're neither are they right, in the sense. Uh, I won't be able to go into every youngster's head and see what he has, or even for older generation person, I can't really probe into someone's head and see what has worked exactly right for him or not, kind of a thing. These are all perspectives. Something works for you. I mean, don't kind of penalize children if they don't succeed. But if they succeed, that doesn't mean they're whole well-rounded person or people and things like that. One has to have values as much as one has to have the zeal to succeed, to achieve, and things like that. You should have a right balance. I mean, I think as we age, we become little more, if not wiser, we little more accepting and things like that. So if someone as an youngster can find a balance of both, of being humane, at the same time be a go-getter to succeed and things like that, that will be a healthy mix. Because you can be young and successful. It's not bad, but if you look at what is happening all around, me succeeding at the cost of someone else is going to come and bite me back, is what I would say. Because if a small percentage of people ruin everything for everyone, then I have a right, not only me, everyone has a right to kind of point fingers or correct and see what is to be done and things like that. So a couple of people's greed can't ruin lives of everyone. So to that extent, one has to be wise and kind of tell them or prod them to fall back in line. If not me, someone else will do. But as long as we are there on this planet, there will be as much happiness as there would be, I think, the dangers of wars or all the negative feelings, greed or yeah, I mean, all the negative will always be there. But we as humans who have developed after all the animals behind us, we think we are superior. But we don't know. I mean, in 200 years, we might all be kind of wiped out of this planet. We don't know. So let's not be too that we are almost like gods or anything like that. So
I like what you covered.
Do I make sense?
My own perspective kind of matches yours on this. I enjoyed the fact that you gave us 200 years. I am a little bleak on that one. I personally think nature is taking
No,
its
in the sense,
route back, and it might not necessarily decide in our favor, as humans are very privileged or intelligent. It might just try and show us our place very quickly. I also like what you brought in the
we
fact.
don't know if
Sorry, please complete.
yeah, I mean, we don't know if this intelligence is a feature or a bug. In the sense, it is intelligence for us, but for a higher intelligence beyond us, I don't know what it will be. We are still that way, kind of at the mercy of nature.
Yeah. So I think this chat has been wonderful on several levels. On one hand, it is one of the crazier chats I've had because we covered so much of ground that on the surface of it, it may seem overwhelming. But if one spends time on certain bits that you covered, I think each one has its own value as a different chat, perhaps. What I like is that vulnerability may actually lead us to value both our defeat and success with a pinch of salt. I like that aspect that you brought in broadly, uh, because the pause is going to help us reflect better on where we stand. So it's been wonderful chatting with you, and I enjoyed this chat very much. I'm still to. I saw many one-liners coming up. You've been giving me ideas all over. So, but they are wonderful. I hope that listeners take a lot of good from this chat. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us.
Same here. Yeah, same here. Thanks a lot. What you called covering ground might be a little bit of rambling for me. I mean, if I went all over the place, and I don't know if I kind of was specific enough to answer the topic of vulnerability and things like that.
Yeah,
But
but I think
I enjoyed it
what
thoroughly.
are the values that I try and otherwise have to get, because every time there is an answer, and if I see some merit in it covers a certain value. I think we were luckier as kids when we had moral science textbooks defining things far more easily. In today's times, which are very complicated, and the social media that you love so much has is a double-edged sword. It cuts both ways. Sometimes
True.
really good, but sometimes it can just make moral values seem very ambiguous, which it is not. Uh, One has to really figure out
True.
in
Yeah,
time
I mean,
what is right.
I'm
Sorry, please. Can you repeat that?
sometimes sometimes I'm also guilty of, yeah, sometimes I'm also guilty of upsetting those values in the way I behave online and
All
things
of
like
us.
that, because uh,
Yeah, all of us do. I think it's a work in progress. You very rightly put it that we need to sometimes be provoked, be speaking about things that should be spoken about. And sometimes it's okay to be patient and let nature take a call on what's right. So, on that wonderful note, I shall see you soon. It was good chatting with you. I'll see you.
same here.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah,
Bye.
bye.